Okay, how to close the form. A few different ways of doing this, which sometimes confuses people. A lot of people always ask me how, what's the exact way, what's the best way to close off the form, any third of the form that goes from. So when we come to the cross hands position of the form, whether that be the first or second or third, this is the way to correctly close and center the energy before moving around. You'll normally find if you come out of the form, for example, you come out to there and just stop. It just feels like you haven't locked your door kind of thing. You're going to let all that nice energy you've built up sort of scatter and leave your body. So we want to lock it all in and keep it with ourselves. So what we're going to do is, you've come to the end of the third, you've squatted down, you pick up that left foot, heel and toe together. If you're going to close off, what we do is this. Scooping down, lower your body as low as you can without leaning forward. You must never do this posture like this to get a lower squat by leaning forward. You must only take your double shoulder width stance, but as you squat down, see if I go anything lower than that, I'm going to start to fall backwards. The only way I can go lower than that is to do this and lean forward. You don't want to do that. You always must keep your back vertical. So we come down, you pick up this foot heel and toe together to engage these abdominal areas here as you're scooping up, like that. You bring it in, the foot should touch the ground just next to the other foot. It's not a toe stance as such, it's just an empty foot. So it's just like that, just resting. The ball of the foot's just very lightly touching the ground. It is on the ground, but there's no weight whatsoever on that foot. Okay, so the foot will touch there. As we get to the cross hands position, we touch the wrists together. We're just in a natural Qigong position here. The pelvis is tucked, the knees are bent, obviously all the weight's in one leg, and we're there like that. Even though the weight's in one leg, the legs are very, very close together now, so the center of gravity, of course, is not like that, with it in line with the hip. The standing leg is, of course, almost in the center of your body when we're in this position. So we've come up to there. With reference to how long you can hold any of these sections, that's totally up to you. It's dependent on what you feel is right for you at the time. So you might come out of that, depending on what state of mind you're in, how much energy you've built up, etc. You might stand there, come out of it, da 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 da. You might want to hold that position for a few minutes or just a few breaths, whatever you feel like. But that's the first thing you do. You just hold that, even if it's just for a couple of breaths. Making sure you're maintaining that Qigong position, the pelvis tucked, chin tucked in. Now what we're going to do is, I'll give you an analogy as to what to think about. When we come to the cross hands position in the form, basically throughout your form you're doing all the various different postures, you're getting the energy to flow through the 12 main meridians in the body and the 8 extra. So your energy is going through all the meridians on its path. When you come to the cross hands position, your energy has gone through all those meridians and it's centered in your backbone. So we've got the energy now stored in the backbone. Your backbone is the energy storage point for like instant access Qi or Jing. So when I do something, as soon as I do anything, that energy is coming from my backbone. It's your instant access energy. The energy storage point is your Dantian. So that's like, I call that the freezer. So your backbone is your fridge, you can take something out and eat it straight away. Whereas down here, that's the freezer. You've got to bring it out, let it thaw, and then prepare it, and then use it afterwards. So when we're doing our training, of course, we're bringing energy up from the Dantian and getting it through the whole body. And then when we get to the cross hands, we center in the backbone. However, the backbone, being a fridge, can only store a certain amount of energy. So for long-term storage, we have to go to the freezer. So what we're doing here is we've centered in the backbone. Now we're going to take the excess that will be lost if we don't do this, and we're going to pack it. So this is a packing part of the Qigong. We've held this for a couple of breaths, centering the body. Keeping the knees bent, straightening the knees up you're going to press down and stand up. So we're standing there like that. We keep the knees bent during this part of the movement. We squat it into the posture. You take as many breaths as you want, then we inhale. Now watch. Exhaling. All the weight's still in the right leg. So I've pressed my right palm down like that on top of my left palm, taking that combined energy and packing it down here into the dantian. So by doing that physical movement, we're taking that internal energy from the spine, coming down the channels and back into the dantian. We're standing up as we do that, breathing out. Now, here's the important part, not to lose it. If I just do that, I feel like I've lost something from the Qigong, because I'm throwing the energy. Think of it like this. You're throwing the energy away, so it's going out this way kind of thing. So the energy that's in your spine, in your backbone, that's going internally through your body and back down to your dantian. However, there's also an amount of energy just cupped in your palms as well here. So we're throwing that energy away, throwing it down here. What we're going to do is we're going to catch it again to keep it in the palms. We want to keep that nice feeling in your palms. So we pack. Now watch what the hands do. See that? So rather than coming to here and going like this, see, if there was something underneath my palms, if there was some kind of physical energy, physical force coming out of that palm from there, if I just go like that, here's the energy and I've just pulled my hand back. What I want to do is pack down, here's the energy coming out, and I go under and I catch it. So I'm maintaining that feeling in my palms when I finish the form. So you should finish the form, when you're totally closed off, you should feel like your palms are like they've got magic in them. They've got this beautiful heat pulsing through them. You should feel like you want to go and help someone, you want to heal someone after you've done your Tai Chi form. So we pack. We catch. See, they like you're doing this kind of a movement. As we step out, we sink back down now, and we take the left leg out just to a starting position, a parallel shoulder width stance like that. So we're standing up, catch the excess energy, bring your weight back to double like your starting position, but the knees are slightly bent now, just a little bit bent, not even like a full Qigong position, just slightly bent now. And we're now basically we're just in the same stance now as your lower Qigong position for your 3-circle standing. So we're just holding that position now. And then to totally close off, like as if you were finishing your 3-circle Qigong, the only difference is because we're closing a form, we do something different with the legs. So the arms are going to lift out, but the body is going to go down. Again, keeping your back vertical. Breathing in. The body's going down as the hands are going up. Then the body goes up as the hands are coming down. Breathing out. What that's doing is that's basically locking the door, closing the gates. Straightening the legs. Never lock the knee joints out when you finish. Only straighten just before that locked position of the knees. Like that. And then from there, of course, then you can just softly step out and go on and carry on with your day. Okay, so I'll just show that now, just so you see what it looks like without stopping, without talking about it. this position as same as this. You can hold that for as long as you wish. So you might come out of that, you can do another half-hour Qigong if you want, but at least just hold it for a period, just a few breaths or something, just holding again, centering your body. This physical movement here, the physical part of the movement, adheres to the same principle as the form itself with reference to how large you do it. The technical movement is you squat as low as you can via keeping your back straight, so again don't lean forward to get a lower squat, and lift your palms out sort of 90 degrees, so to the two corners like that. As you go down, yin hands, bring them around to the front and then push them down in front of your body, sort of at about shoulder width like that. So they come up to about shoulder height like that. So from there you're going to go down, 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 down. There's the shoulder height, and then see they're coming around and pressing back down. However, if you're practicing your Tai Chi form and your form is becoming a bit smaller than that, that's like the basic foundation. That's like doing the opening move of your Tai Chi form, like that, as opposed to doing your opening move of your Tai Chi form, like that. Do not try to do that if you're a beginner watching this title, for example. I'm not going to get into small frame. I'm just going to say don't do it if you're just starting your form. I'll put another video clip out on why you shouldn't do small frame when you're first starting out. But just don't. Do your large frame first. I did my large frame for like 8-9 years or something. Okay, one other thing. Oh yes, so from here, so exactly, same thing as that. If I were doing my own form, depending on how I'd done my form, the frame level, the way of doing your form will vary for yourself. It's not to say that once you get to a small frame, you'll only ever do a small frame. Sometimes I do my form at a larger frame level, depending on what I'm feeling on that day. Sometimes it'll be more martial, sometimes more slow, more Fa Jing, faster, all sorts of things can go on through your form. So, it can vary from anywhere from this, that would be a very large frame version, what a beginner should be doing, or it can be here. I might have come out that's how I would commonly come out of it myself. However, as a beginner, if for instance I do this and I went, I'm doing all the movements now correctly, so that will lock the gates. However, if you are a beginner and you try to mimic that small movement that I just did, and you do this, that's not what I just did. That's just doing this movement very, very small. When I'm doing it now, there's literally thousands of little undulations and contractions through my whole body when I'm doing that movement. And you can't possibly be expected to understand that movement right from the start. So that's why you have to do these large movements in your form. These are the postures which will help you to understand how to move, and then we can take those same postures into a small frame level. But you must never just think, oh okay, I'll just do my movement smaller. To just take a movement and do this with it is not small frame. Small frame doesn't mean just doing your form smaller. Thank you.